Did you know the King of France was once captured and held prisoner for over a year? It sounds almost unbelievable, but history is full of stories that are stranger than fiction. Sounds like something straight out of a thriller, right? Imagine the suspense, the drama, the uncertainty. Except this was real life, with the fate of a nation hanging in the balance. But that's exactly what happened to Francis I, one of Europe's most fascinating monarchs. He was a king, known for his charisma, ambition, and love of art. But his reign was also marked by incredible highs and devastating lows. Let's rewind to 1525. Francis I is leading his army into battle at Pavia, Italy, dreaming of glory. He's young, confident, and determined to expand his influence across Europe, hoping to outshine his rivals and secure his legacy. But things go horribly wrong. He's outmaneuvered, his army collapses, and suddenly, the King of France is a prisoner, locked up by his bitter rival, Emperor Charles V. The defeat is total, and the shockwaves ripple across the continent. Imagine the shock across Europe. The most powerful man in France, trapped in a cold Spanish fortress, his fate completely out of his hands. For the French people, it was a moment of national crisis. No one knew if their king would ever return. But here's where it gets wild. Even from his cell, Francis refuses to give up the crown. He writes letters, schemes with allies, and even tries to escape, once by dressing up as his servant. His determination and cunning kept hope alive, and his spirit never wavered, even in the darkest moments. Francis's mother, Louise of Savoy, takes the reins back home. She becomes the backbone of the French resistance, stepping into the political chaos and showing remarkable strength and intelligence. She negotiates, rallies the people, and scrapes together a ransom. The French court is desperate. No king, no hope. Louise's leadership is crucial as she navigates treacherous political waters and keeps the kingdom from falling apart. Finally, after more than a year, a deal is struck. To win his freedom, Francis has to make a gut-wrenching choice. The negotiations are tense, with both sides making painful sacrifices and difficult promises. He promises to hand over huge tracts of French land and, even worse, sends his own sons to take his place as hostages. The decision is heartbreaking, but it's the only way to secure his release and save the throne. Can you imagine sending your kids into captivity just to walk free? The emotional toll on Francis and his family was immense, and the entire nation watched anxiously as the king's sons were led away to a foreign land. But once Francis is back in France, he changes the game. He refuses to honor those harsh terms and starts rebuilding his power. His return is triumphant, and he wastes no time in reasserting his authority and inspiring his people. He launches a cultural revolution, patronizing artists, building palaces, and making France a center of art and learning. Under his rule, the French Renaissance flourishes, attracting talent from across Europe and leaving a legacy that endures to this day. The guy bounces back from captivity to become a Renaissance legend. His resilience and vision transform not just his own fortunes, but the destiny of an entire nation. So, next time you hear about kings and queens living lives of luxury, remember Francis I, who went from locked away in a foreign cell to ruling one of the most powerful kingdoms in Europe. His story is a reminder that even in the darkest times, courage and determination can change the course of history. If you enjoyed learning about the wild twists in Francis' story, hit subscribe for more incredible tales from history. There's always more to discover, and history is full of surprises just waiting to be explored.